Welcome to Catalyze, the Connected Leaders Academy virtual conference designed to reshape your vision of transformation. As we navigate the evolving business landscape, our speakers will unveil innovative strategies to manage and initiate change. Prepare to adapt, innovate, and lead, ensuring your role as a catalyst in this transformative era.
So we all have bad seasons in life. And I had one in 2002 when I was arrested and charged with first-degree murder. So when I first turned 21, I was incarcerated facing a life sentence without the possibility of parole. I had an eighth grade education, and my daughter was at the time only 10 months old. Now, you would have thought that being charged with first-degree murder, facing a life sentence without the possibility of parole, having a baby girl only 10 months, whom we all claim that our children are so dear to us. And I don't doubt that we love our children. You would have thought that something would have clicked in my mind to say, dang, maybe I need to change my ways. But going to prison, sitting in prison, facing a life sentence without the possibility of parole, that's not even the worst part of this story. The worst part of the story is that reality didn't even sit in. My mindset was so far gone that I remained the same arrogant, dope smoking, alcohol drinking, womanizing punk kid for at least the first 3 years of my sentence, of my incarceration. See, I don't have some aha moment to tell you about where I just woke up one day and was like, oh, it's Monday. Let me change the trajectory of the rest of my life. Or it's the first of the year. Let my New Year's resolution be that I'm just going to change my future all of a sudden, because we know how well that works out. I just started reading the same self-help, personal growth and development books that all of you have already read. The same literature everyone else is reading. The only difference is I implemented what I was reading. See, I started to create my daily habits, my program, to align with what I was reading. And so going to the penitentiary was the greatest thing that ever happened for me. Now, notice I said it happened for me and not to me. And that's just knowing the difference between a victim mentality and a victor mentality. Those of us who play the victim, of course, the blame game is everybody else's fault. So life happens to them. However, I understand that everything that happens in life happens for us because it happens for a reason. And so going to the penitentiary was the greatest thing that ever happened for me. Why? Because it gave me a chance to sit with myself. And the longer I sat with myself, the more disgusted I became. The hardest pill to swallow was looking in the mirror, knowing that it was my decisions that landed me in the worst place that I have ever experienced in my life, waking up every single day, not knowing if I would wake up every single day. You understand what I'm telling you? Can you imagine fearing for your life every waking moment, having everything stripped away from you, everything you ever loved, everything you ever held on to, everything you ever had? The decisions that I made up to that point were all my choices. And that was the reality I had to face. And I became disgusted with the person staring back at me in that mirror. So change was inevitable. I had to do it. But how? How? I had been thinking, speaking, doing, walking, acting, and doing. I've been doing wrong for so long. Doing the right thing was grueling. It didn't even cross my mind for the first 3 years of my incarceration. How am I gonna do the right thing? Quit smoking cigarettes. I've been smoking 2 packs a day for 13 years. Quit using foul language. I make grown men cry with the words that come off of my tongue. Quit lusting over women. I love beautiful women. Quit getting high. Quit this. Quit that. Ah! But just feel like you want to scream. That was all going on in my head. And the more I tried to close my ears, the louder it got. So this meant that sacrifices had to take place. And in order to live a life of purpose over pleasure, you will inevitably have to make sacrifices. See, in the penitentiary, my morning structure became impenetrable. It was always the same, and it still is to this day. I wake up at 3 o'clock a.m. every morning, 7 days a week. It's non-negotiable. There's no days off. I make my coffee. I drink some water. I recite supplications. I pray to my Lord, and I start reading from a book that is conducive to growth, that cultivates growth. And then this is when I start to reflect. My reflection is always on past experience, mostly the pain that I've been through, the kind of pain that will make most people kind of break down and cry. Because I've had, most of us have had some type of experience in our life that's just not desirable. And this is how you learn what you're really made of. And to suffer deliberately like that from within is the greatest source of power. By reflecting on what I overcame, I expose all the characteristical traits, mannerisms, behaviors, conducts of a true beast, someone who can truly overcome anything thrown my way. And because I know this and understand, the greater the hardship, the greater the reward. No matter the size of adversity you face, you can handle it. I guarantee, I promise you that. You will never face a calamity or trial or tribulation greater than you can bear. So I'm up at 3 a.m. and I'm shaping my avatar. I'm molding the future Justin 10.0. Handpicking nothing but the greatest and the best qualities and behaviors and conducts and mannerisms and speeches. And this is how I start my day. To this day. I've been doing it now for like 19 years. Then I relentlessly apply all that I possibly can, making sure to check myself at the very onset of anything trying to surface that is not in accord with my authentic self. Because now I've sat with myself and I reflect and I know what I'm capable of. I know who I am, my authentic self. But we all know life can happen. Whether it's at a stoplight or it's at a Starbucks, things happen that can get us out of character real quick. So one of the greatest struggles is not breaking character. Once you determine your non-negotiable self of who you really are authentically. And I firmly believe that fitness and health go hand in hand, and you can huff and puff. Every time you hear the word fitness, you want to sigh, but fitness and health go hand in hand with striving to perfect one's personal growth structure. So needless to say, early in the morning, I'm at the gym at 4 o'clock in the morning. I do a crucial workout and continue to reflect on something positive, reassuring myself when I'm in a euphoric state, in a positive state of who I am and who I am to become, and what it takes to achieve the success level that I want. So fitness is the gateway to success. It cultivates discipline necessary to waking up early, chasing your dreams. It's a growth tactic when we're speaking mind, body, and soul improvement. So at the end of the day, when you get a good workout in, the greater you will feel a sense of fulfillment, a sense of meaning and significance. Even those who hate going to the gym, they claim it. I hate the work. I hate going to the gym. I hate going to work out. I don't want to work out. After they've done it, they feel great. They're proud of themselves. They want to pat on the back. They want to tell their friends, you've been there. You've done it. You just keep giving up or you keep stopping. Fitness teaches us delayed gratification. In a world where everything is instantaneous, we want everything now. We keep jumping in the sales funnel that says how I made 6 figures in the last 30 days because we know it ain't get rich quick. It ain't get rich overnight, but we're jumping in sales funnels that sell us on how to make 7 figures in 30 days. Because we want it all now. We want instant coffee, instant potatoes, instant high-speed internet, all now. But to get actual results in life, you have to instill delayed gratification, and that's what fitness and health, fitness and nutrition does. It teaches you, it instills in you delayed gratification. And science has proven over and over again that when you work out consistently, a workout could be a power walk, it could be a bike ride, it could be a whatever, a hike. It doesn't have to be powerlifting, heavy weights and dumbbells and all of that. It's relative to you and your capabilities. But when you get a good workout consistently, your body's pumping out two very important happy hormones, endorphins and dopamines. That can't be denied. And after you have that endorphin and dopamine spike where you feel real good, things like anxiety and depression, they don't happen. See, the majority of people running around searching for a pill, antidepressants and anti-anxiety, and searching for some outside influence to guide them. If you just look within, you'll find the answers, all of the answers to the questions you have. They lie within. I promise you. Get up and start with personal growth, development, and reflection first. Wake up and envision where you want to be in life. Who do you want to become? This is how I always start my mornings. All of the chaos in the world is still asleep. Nothing to focus on but me. I ain't on my wife's time. I ain't on walk the dog time. I ain't on no employees' time, no boss time, no my business time, no finances, no CPA, no nobody. I'm on my time because everybody else is asleep. Nothing to focus on but me. And it only took for me to see that I could go consistently without a couple of these things to know that I could go without every bad or negative thing I was hanging on to. See, detachment is the key. See, most of you keep adding to your plate, needing something else, wanting more, wanting more. But I promise you, a life of deduction ultimately will be a life of surplus. Most people want to pride themselves and pat themselves on the back for multitasking. That's the dumbest thing I ever heard of. Monotasking, I guarantee you get way more done. Ask those who know. So when I realized my ability to stick to doing these small daily practices of detaching, it's what gets me further ahead, it become a no-brainer on what to do next. See, everyone has a scarcity mindset. For example, if you're on a diet, all you can think about is the food that you can't eat anymore. See, a scarcity mindset is when you are so obsessed with the lack of something, and for most of us, it's time or money, that you can't seem to focus on anything else, no matter how hard you try. But instead of focusing on all the food you can't have, rather focus on the self-investment. Oh, I'm hungry because I'm becoming a beast. Oh, I'm hungry. I feel like this because I'm investing in myself to become better, to become more for me, for my children, for my family, for society, to be an example, to be a leader. See how the perception is different? Who cares how hungry you got to be in order to get to where you want to get to? Instead, we most of the time, we're so soft, we just keep copping out, making excuses and negotiating. So there was a time all I could think about was getting out of prison. That's all I could think about. I just want out of prison. Who don't? Instead of thinking about how can I grow as a person and develop into an individual who never comes back to prison, who never has to worry about ever going to prison again. See the difference? So when you recognize that whatever you've done up to this point in life has gotten you to where you are today, if you're not okay with it, if you're not happy with where you are at, and you want more, then begin with making small tweaks to your mindset and your daily actions. It's that simple. You don't need another book. See, we don't have an education problem. We got an application issue. You want more books, you want more lectures, you want more events, you want more this and more that. Just implement what you already know. Simplify. It's really, really, really easy because you already have all the answers. I had an 8th grade education when I went to prison, man. Come on. And notice that the more uncomfortable change makes you, the more it means and the better you become by embracing it. The discomfort, I promise, is a sure sign that you are doing the right thing to move the needle to self-elevation. Don't give in to what you think is hard. The obstacle is the way. See, every adversity you've ever faced, every adversity, calamity I've ever been through, now I know that was the gift. See, the simple fact that I chose not to get comfortable is what kept me progressing, and we all know that progression is life. Nobody goes to bed at night wanting tomorrow to be worse. We all want it to be better. I don't care if you hit the lottery, for lack of better examples. If you hit the lottery today, you still want tomorrow to be better. I don't care if you was a crackhead. You want tomorrow to be better when you lay your head down at night. No matter what our level is, we got to outperform yesterday. Yesterday's wins are not today's wins. You got to outperform yesterday. So progression is life. And change is going to be uncomfortable. It is extremely uncomfortable. And that's why so few people can actually initiate personal growth upon themselves. See, we give all the encouragement and advice to the next person. We do that. We volunteer to do that. We jump to do that. Can't wait to tell somebody else something they need to do in their life to become better, to become more, to make more. Everybody's a coach, but so few can actually initiate personal growth upon themselves because it's uncomfortable. It's change. But trust and believe that instant gratification, constantly trading in what you want now for what you really want in life, is the biggest mistake I see. Big goals feel so much better than selling out your vision, than selling out your principles, your conduct, your character. Your effing choices will determine where you end up in this life. Believe that. I could have easily continued to be that punk, dope smoking kid and blame my violent behavior on others, which would have kept me in prison for life, living a sad effing existence. Also, I could have chosen to be a weak mofo when I got out and went back to drug use and alcohol abuse and so on and so on. And for some reason, we call that living our best life. YOLO, let's go get drunk, or the party's over here. And get out of here, man, which is probably the biggest lie we tell ourselves overall, because in reality, we got to face ourselves. We must face ourselves with an open, honest heart to truly break through and have the self-realizations needed for life-changing growth. Fact is, everyone rushes everyone everywhere else and into the future because no one wants to face one's own inner self. I told you, it's a very dark, lonely, and scary place when you got to look in the mirror and look inside to know that it's where you are is because of the decisions that you make. And that hurts. All your power lies on the other side of your pain and the understanding of it. Self-mastery is the key. But first, you got to choose to be more. You got to choose to be more. Your level of success will never exceed your level of personal development. Why? Because success is something you attract by the person you become. Different is better than better. You ain't got to be better than me. No, be different. And in essence, that is better. The good thing is you got a leg up. You're already different. But you got to sell yourself on you, not me. You got to sell yourself on you. The story you tell yourself throughout your day is what's holding you back. Ask me how I know. And the story is simply linked to your habits, which we can easily change. Change your habits, and you will see you differently. The answers we seek are all internal. I'm talking about digging deep. On the other side of the most painful events that have taken place in your life, that gift is waiting. That's the blessing. I'm telling you. 14 years and 4 months of my life, I sat in the penitentiary. See, I didn't tell you that part yet. See, I didn't get sentenced for first-degree murder. I got sentenced for second degree. And sentenced to 17 years and 9 months, of which I spent 14 years and 4 months of my life. I lost everything. Only thing that kept me going is my understanding of all these negative internal states are just notifications from above to become more, to do more, to be more, to get the F up and persevere myself with action by working on everything that I could. We got to believe. You got to believe. Know that you're in control. Our thoughts and our actions create our strengths and weaknesses. It's not trigonometry here, man. It's not hard. Our thoughts and actions create our strengths and weaknesses. At this point in our lives, it's imperative that we do what we must do, not what we want to do. And that is living a life of purpose over pleasure. See, my mission is to help you regain control, to show you that you don't have to compromise your well-being for success. I've seen men and women like you wouldn't believe, break through their limitations, reclaim their health, and experience newfound happiness. So why do I do what I do? Because I believe in the power of transformation. I've experienced it. And I want to guide those around me, everyone that I possibly can, through the same journey. Let's rewrite your story, one where you thrive in every aspect of your life. There's 2 questions that you got to answer with every decision you're faced with. And you can put away every book you've ever read, every philosophy, all the whoever. I don't want to say names because I just don't do that. Know this. If you say you got to get up early in the morning because that will help you be better in whatever it is you're trying to be better at, and you hit, when that alarm goes off, you have the choice to hit the snooze button. Ask yourself this. This is all you got to answer. Is hitting that snooze button in line with my purpose, or is it in line with pleasure? Is sitting down in front of this meal, if I want to diet and lose weight and get in better shape, or protect my health or get better health, sitting down in front of the meal that I'm being faced with to eat, is that in line with my purpose, or is that pleasure? That's it. Purpose over pleasure. It's that simple. Nothing more. Ask yourself, what is the vision you have? And so for most of you, so a lot of people don't even know their purpose. They're still talking about, I'm trying to figure out my purpose in life. Great. I'm going to tell you what your purpose in life is. You ain't got to look no further. Your purpose in life is to become the best version of yourself and give that person to the world, period. That's everybody's purpose in life, is to become the best version of themselves and give that person to the world, because there's somebody else that needs you to show up as the best you're supposed to be, that you can be. I was the worst of the worst. Now, I inspire me. I don't need a podcast. I don't need a YouTube. I don't need a motivational speaker. I don't listen to motivational speeches. Like, I don't have to. I don't need to. You know why? Because when I look in the mirror, I inspire me, because I know I got up that morning, I put in the work necessary to raise my worth. See, the work instills the worth. The harder you put in, the more work you put into it, the more value you become, the more valuable you are. And that's across the board, in relationships and business, and at your occupation. If you're working or not, it doesn't matter what it is. If I want my relationship with my wife to be better, then I put in more work, and that relationship becomes more valuable. Makes sense? Same thing in business. Same thing in every area and aspect of your life, even in finances. You work harder to put the finances in order, in check, they will be more valuable. All you have to answer is this for purpose or is this for pleasure? That's it. So know that. State what you're going to do, have the vision set for yourself, and live congruently. When you live conscious congruent, everything becomes clear. No more confusion. Conscious congruent eradicates all confusion and creates clarity. I love you guys. Be safe, grow, become more, and let's catalyze.
Thank you for participating in today's enlightening session of Catalyze. As we transition to our next expert, remember that each strategy and insight is a step toward becoming a transformative leader in your field. Visit connectedleadersacademy.com to stay engaged and informed. The journey of change is ongoing. Let's move forward together.